What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Savvy 100, where we keep things a buck. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Man, the support's been beautiful. The subscribers are growing. The channel's growing. It's a slow and steady process, but you know what? When you look at it for what it is, I remember when I first hit my first 1,000 on my last channel, and it was a big deal, man. It was a big. That's when I hit like 3,000 subs. That's when everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're a celebrity." So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the support. I feel good about it still. Let's keep smashing that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you do subscribe, if you want to be notified of future videos that your boy's dropping, hit that bell notification icon right next to the subscription button. That will send you a direct notification every time I drop a video. Now, the content that I push out there, especially on this channel, will vary. It'll be diverse. We'll talk about my prison experiences. We'll talk about what we're going to talk about today, relationship stuff, the laws of attraction, how guys should deal with rejection, which is today's video, and all kinds of fun things like that. I'm going to keep it a lot more diverse on this channel than I did on my last channel and go from there. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Fellas, no matter what any guy looks like, has gone through, feels what he has to offer to a woman, whatever the case is, every man has dealt with some level, some form of rejection by a woman, whether via social media, in person, at work, at the gym. It could be anywhere. I personally am speaking from experience. It still happens to me to this day. It still happens. So it's not about the rejection, right? Because as men, even as strong women out there, like you get knocked down, it's always about how fast you get right back up and how you get up, maintaining your class, your dignity, and self-respect. A lot of guys, man, will toss that shit out the window as soon as they taste a little bit of rejection. Man, it's too much of a blow to their ego. And so they let go of class, they let go of all of that shit, and they become nasty, or they keep being too persistent, they become pushy, they become weird, creepy, etc. We're going to get into some of the ways that you can cope with being rejected and actually probably attract them right back to you and make them understand that you're on to the game. So, with that being said, women will do their nails, they'll do their makeup, they'll do their hair, they'll go to the gym, get all pretty, get their toes done. Some of them eat extra food just to get that extra thickness in the butt, all that good stuff. But why though? Why do they do that kind of stuff? You know, why, like what for? You know, a lot of them will say, yeah, I'm looking good I know you're looking good for yourself, ma. Like, we get it, but you're doing it for attention. Whether it's good attention, bad attention, that's their business, but they're doing it for attention from who? From the opposite sex. See, as men, we have to understand what we have, right? It's a value, it's an energy. Like, I'm going to boss your fucking life. I'm going to boss you up, girl. Like, I will boss your life up. If you get with me, I will bring you up, girl. I will raise you from where you're at mentally. I can teach. If you cannot teach her and you can't show her things and you can't lead her to a new reservoir, you know, you can't show her new ways to find water and drink from the water, right? And make the water and manifest the water in her own way and out of her own capacity. What are you doing? What do you have to offer? Sex ain't everything. I'm gonna tell you that right now, but it does play a big factor if you really laying it down fucking good, right? Seducing her, speaking that good shit in her ear while you're doing it, knocking her socks off 10 times out of 10, right? Like she ain't never had it. You got one up, but it's not everything. It's not even the biggest component. It's a huge factor. It is. It's a huge factor in either getting them who have known you and have went their separate ways to come back, right? That's always going to be a huge factor, believe it or not, but it's not the biggest one. The biggest one is what you have going on for yourself. Do you have shit going on for yourself? But before we get into that, guys, I don't want to bounce around too much. Let's get into the fact of what it is and why it is that they want attention. Now, just because a woman wants your attention does not mean she wants you. Don't you ever get that fucked up. Just because she may want your attention, even for that moment, does not mean she may want you. And I deal with this often. Even to this day, I deal with this often. And I don't understand, you know. I couldn't for the longest. But now I'm starting to understand. Women will never be men. No matter how hard and no matter how much they try to say they about that life, a woman will always think a little deeper than a man will, right? So women think more mentally, men think more physically. That's just how nature is set up, man, for the most part. Not every man is like this and not every woman is like that. I will say that much, but majority of both sexes, genders, they are that way. So I'll give you an example. So if a woman goes in the gym, you know, she's dressed super tight, leggings on, looking great, camel toe on pop. You're in the gym on swole, you know, you're hitting the weights, sweaty, you know, you feel like you're looking good too that day. And it's important that you understand that you probably are looking good that day. Because if you can't give yourself that much, you can't expect her to give you that much. And let's say she looks at you or she glances at you, gives you a little smirk or something like that and walks past you to go to another machine. And you're really feeling yourself, man. You may have seen her a couple times. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try to shoot my shot. You find some kind of weird way to shoot your shot, right? Like, and let's say you keep it super respectful. It's almost borderline subliminal, right? Like, not even, was he flirting with me? Was he not? And she's not receptive. Don't think that a mistake was made. Don't think that she didn't catch your drift, right? And get the hint. So she did. Recognize it for what it is. She just did not want anything from you. All she wanted was that attention that you gave her. So what do you do now? Instantly, she's dead. Instantly, she died. Instantly, she no longer exists to me, to my understanding of reality. She's not even alive. I could walk right past her now for the rest of my life and never look at her. Not with an intentional malice in my heart, but just to take back the one thing that I gave her that she wanted for free. Right? So, understanding that women want that off top is the first thing you can do to give yourself one up in the game. Because attention is worth a lot. It's worth those nails, the hair she getting done. It's worth the clothes she putting on. It's worth her getting her ass in the gym and doing what she doing. It's worth all of that. It's all for that. So, of course, your attention is very valuable, as the rest of the guys who are worth a damn. Now, listen. The last thing you want to do in the face of rejection, the absolute last thing you want to do is find yourself pushing harder and being more persistent. You know, I've literally at times have had sex with a girl and literally have not came on purpose. Even though it was fire, not busted, on purpose. Because it really sets things off when you can throw them off, right? Because they say curiosity killed the cat. The curiosity in a woman's mind is profound, right? And instantly they start to attack inwardly and wonder, well, geez, am I the problem? Oh, well, he's got me fucked up. Now it's a challenge. You guys might actually ask, damn, well, why? What's the logic of doing that? You know, what kind of game? I'm not into playing the games. Well, let me tell you. If I'm really attracted to you and I really like you, I'm gonna make more of a simmer and let it boil over to a complete boil, and boom. A lot of guys, they come like a shooting star. You know, this is them into the whole relationship. Like a shooting star. They give everything of who they are, what they're about, what they have to offer. Everything like a shooting star. That's not me. You see, when I really want something, it's not about playing games with her head. It's not about doing that, but it's about showing her. You will work for everything just as I have to, you have to. I'm not going to sell myself out completely. I'm not going to sell myself short completely. Why would I do that? Like, why would you give up any little mystery about you? Don't you know how curious women are when they see that the man that they're talking to or dealing with is different? How he's not exactly the same, how he's more of a secret, how things about him are, you know, are more, how would you say, unpredictable, right? They're just more interesting. You see, if your attention is something that you're willing to give up, fine. But if it's not appreciated and she doesn't want it, you take it back. You have no idea the amount of rejection that I've dealt with. You have no idea. And rejection, this level of rejection applies to everything, right? Like, it can apply to your relationships, it can apply to your friendships, it can apply to your exes, it can apply to it can apply to like Instagrams, Facebook, social media, dating website apps, or anything like that, right? Some people get so excited just to hear back from the opposite sex, right? Especially if it's a good-looking person, that they just go 0 to 100. And I've done this myself plenty of times. But I've learned now to not do that. Because there have been times when girls I was not so interested in, not so attracted to per se. It's not that they were ugly or nothing, they weren't really that for me. I dealt with them half-assed because I didn't have that energy for them anyways. But I noticed that dealing with them that half-assed way, it to them looked like I was playing it cool, being unpredictable, being like a player type of dude, busy. It really wasn't that. It's just that, hey, it's not like that. I'm not on you like that. But it drove them to new levels, took them to new heights instantly. The thing is, men have the tendency to think that kind of shit, that kind of way of thinking and acting does not apply to a beautiful girl because of how she looks. And that's incorrect, because there is no less of a self-esteem having individual than a beautiful girl most times. If she's sexy and gorgeous, I promise you, and she does her makeup, she gets her hair all done, I promise you she is going through it internally a lot worse than a lot of these mediocre looking women are, because they've already accepted that. They don't even trip. They're not trying to do their makeup. They don't give a fuck. They are who they are. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. They get it. And for some reason, you guys are so intimidated by dealing with these beautiful women that you guys will actually not apply the same methods just because you don't want to lose out on what this one has to offer. So you'll play your shit all completely 100% wrong. Now, the power of taking your attention back is great. You see, when a woman knows, let's say she has been crushing on you. Let's say you guys have been crushing on each other. When a woman knows that you've pulled back and you are no longer focusing on her, you're not paying her any mind, no attention, she's not important to you, no longer. Doesn't mean she's a bad person, doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that you no longer feel the necessity to facilitate attention her way, because it didn't show no reciprocity, right? That there was no mutual understanding of, reciprocating that same type of energy. So you pull back, and if she's liked you at one point, was on you, loved you, or was crushing on you, or just was even checking you out at all, the second you rip that attention back, and I mean really rip it back though, don't do no half-ass shit, right? If you're going to take your attention back, you don't do this kind of shit. You don't take it back, and then the first sign of, like, she gives you a drop of water, you're like, I'm back. No. Once you take that bitch back, you take that bitch back completely. In order to get this shit back, you gotta go out your way now. Not only fuck reciprocity, now you gotta pay me. Now you gotta pay me. Pay me. That attention that I gave you, the way I gave it to you, you're going to pay me that same way, or you'll never get this attention back. It's simple. And trust me, if you don't have that understanding, if you don't value yourself, your time, and your attention that much, then you're a lost cause. And maybe it's time you look in the mirror and tell yourself, hey, I can do that. I can treat myself with more self-respect and more dignity to understand that my attention is valuable. Because for every woman who won't appreciate the shit that you're giving her, or appreciate the attention or the time that you put into even trying, thousands will. So you have to be okay first off with being single, understanding the fact that you are single, understanding the fact that there is plenty of women out there, and understanding the fucking fact that you got to have some shit going for yourself. If you ain't got shit going for yourself, you really can't do much. You really can't. You can find somebody that'll spare some pity on you, have some mercy on you, but you won't find much else after that, right? And like I already told you, even if you wake the fuck up and you get your ass up and you work out every day at 4:30, and she sees that, you work out twice a day, and she see, and your body shows, you have the results. Or let's say you every day you wake up and you go to work every day, 4:30, you work all day, 7 days a week. She sees that. It could be anything. Like I said, women cherish a sign of dedication and commitment to anything. They are deeper than us. They will appreciate that. So if you're in the gym, make sure your ass is in the gym constantly at the same time. People already are recognizing that. You're recognizing it. They're recognizing it. Everyone else is giving you attention. You may not be perceptive of it. But the last thing you should ever do is allow someone's rejection to ever bring you down. Make that shit be the fuel to push you harder, to grind harder. And so lastly, after being rejected, is it possible to win again, right? This is the major question right here. After being rejected, is it possible to get the woman that you were rejected by? Well, if you still want her, right? If you still happen to want her, because for me, I'm good. Like once I feel rejected completely, it's very rare. Like I said, you have to pay me, man. It's hard to get me back in that zone of even wanting you, wanting your time. I'm just checked out. But it has happened for me where it's like, okay, well, oh damn, and that's pretty flattering, if they really go out of their way for you. But the question is absolutely yes. Now let's talk about the different circumstances though before you get your gears all going. Let's say you have been in a relationship with somebody, the relationship didn't work out for whatever reason. Fix yourself. What I mean when I say fix yourself, that means number one, like I've said it plenty of times in this video, have shit going for yourself. Keep grinding. Push hard to the top. Whether that's your body, your physical body, whether that's financially, you do have to get yourself financially set up. You need to acquire shit. A lot of women will say they love you while you got nothing, and you can find some who will love you, not for your materialistic shit, but you have got to be able to show that you're a provider. You have got to be able to show that you can grind and you can work and you can earn shit, right? Right. Second, if you got the good dick, you already got number 2 up. Third, attention. Wait it out. Focus on you. Wait it out. Trust me, a time will come, a situation will arise, communication will be established, and you'll have your chance to show the kind of person you've become or the kind of person you've been working on becoming. And if that chance never appears for you, then guess what? That's okay, because you no longer gave attention or interest to that. I'm just answering a simple question for you. The simple laws of attraction. If communication ensued, if contact was to ever ensue again, and you have your shit right, body right, results right, life looking good, doing things, got things going on for yourself, you're gonna win. You're gonna win because she's gonna see that. Whether or not she wants you back, that's on each individual case. Now, as far as the girl who rejected you at the gym, right? The crush. Let's say the one you guys were all day long at the gym, maybe all week long. You guys are exchanging these little glances, little flirtatious looks, you know what I'm saying? Working out extra hard in front of each other or whatnot. But she didn't catch your hint. She did, but you think she didn't, right? Because you're trying to give yourself that. But you listen to me and you take your attention back nonetheless. You don't know how many times where I've pulled back attention, interest right away, and have almost immediately, gave it about half a week to a week of me absolutely pulling back. Because when I give someone attention, I give them attention. They know that I'm not overzealous or with it. They know my attention's on them. But I'm very good at pulling back and just acting like I've never even talked to you a day in my life. And almost immediately, for me, a half of a week to a week is immediately, because of how the duration of the fucking communication was going in the first place, have been hit up by them. Just little subtle things, you know what I mean? And some of them I'd bite a little bit, but nothing major. Unless you really sold yourself out for me and were deciding to pay me with some attention. For me, once you reject me, it's a wrap. For you guys, just take back that attention. Just try it, right? If you've been showing a little too much attention, haven't been getting it reciprocated, pull it back. Disappear with it. You know what I'm saying? Do you focus somewhere else? Matter of fact, put your attention anywhere else and see if it works for you. I'm almost positive it will if you do it right. And if it doesn't work for you, guess what? That woman ain't for you. She's not. Because if she was for you, she wouldn't let you pull your attention away for too long. She wouldn't let you take it away for too long. No, not at all. She would see that and become alarmed immediately and fix that, remedy the situation. If she chooses not to do that, well then guess what? There is no situation she feels need to be remedied. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Much respect, much love. Tomorrow I will be covering a video on prison. A good one, though. You guys will like it. So much love, much respect. Smash that thumbs up if you like the video. Hope I helped you guys with this one. Always love and respect. Deuces.